Welcome to the Giants Training Camp Report presented by Investors Bank from the Cleveland Browns facility. Bob Papa with two-time Super Bowl champion David Diehl. Spirited day 2 of practice going on between the Giants and the Cleveland Browns. And David, in that first full 11-on-11 period, Giants starting defense against the Browns offense, the Giants defense had a very good outing.
They most certainly did. You talk about bringing the intensity early and often in that first initial team period. Ones-on-ones, one defense for the New York Giants versus the ones for the Browns. Leonard Williams tackle for the loss on an inside zone from the backside. Blake Martinez had another tackle for a loss and a run through. And one of the things that I love to see, Lorenzo Carter was trying to almost get bookend. He was able to stead, shack, and then make sure that he got with the tackle going up against David Njoku.
A little banter. There's the Giants' first-team defense. They're going to be going against the Browns' starting offense. And, you know, Cleveland did some nice things yesterday offensively against the Giants' defense, but the Giants seem to have tightened things up a little bit here today.
They definitely have. They've cleaned up things at the line of scrimmage. They've brought better intensity today. You know, one thing that's tough is starting to create that early when you're in a new environment. But today they are really firing on all cylinders.
So there you see Baker Mayfield going against the Giants' starting defense. And Mayfield with a short completion to Donovan Peoples-Jones, who had 14 catches last year. There you go. Look at James Bradbury. Bradbury and Adoree Jackson, they're getting a lot of good work against Jarvis Landry, who's a catching machine and a 5-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah, they most certainly are. You see a lot of move in the pocket, change in launch point with Baker Mayfield, which also brings different combinations by those wide receivers up against the elite wide receivers that this Cleveland Browns team have. So it's great that they're getting work on both sides and getting all different looks today.
A look from over the shoulder of Adoree Jackson. Nick Chubb with the run. And Adoree getting his running in as well, along with Nick Chubb, a Pro Bowler each of the last 2 seasons, former second-round pick out of Georgia.
Leonard Williams talking a little bit because he ran all the way downfield with them.
You see Lorenzo Carter there, Blake Martinez, Dexter Lawrence. There's O'Shane Ximines coming off an injury from last year.
If there was anybody fired up getting into this drill today, it was definitely Peppers on the back end going up against his former team.
And Mayfield probably would have been sacked. Blake Martinez getting the pressure on the quarterback. You know, I talked with Giants head coach Joe Judge earlier today, and it's an interview that'll appear on Giants Access Blue, but he talked about one of the good things about going against the Browns and Baker Mayfield is Mayfield's ability to spin it, but from off-schedule angles. You know, sidearm throws, moving out of the pocket on bootlegs. That's great work for this Giants defense. As you see Danny Shelton, the former first-round pick of the Browns, in there at nose tackle.
It is great work for this Giants defense. You and I both talked about the first 3 plays yesterday were changing the pocket by having bootlegs and nakeds, marrying it with that run action and that play action. So it's going to be a great opportunity for this Giants defensive line to attack from different opportunities, but more importantly for the linebackers to get reads from a quarterback like Baker Mayfield, who's looking for those easy open throwing lanes by moving and changing the launch point.
Take a look at some of the Giants personnel that's out there right now, and you see Azeez Ojulari, number 51, Xavier McKinney, number 29, in there for the Giants. Reggie Ragland, number 55, in at one of those inside backers.
Great work for Azeez Ojulari going up against Jack Conklin, their right tackle, a veteran.
Mayfield with some time, and that one sails over the head of Donovan Peoples-Jones. Adoree Jackson right there on the coverage. Jackson has had a wonderful camp so far for the Giants.
He most certainly has. He's acclimated himself very quickly into this defense. You could see the communication on the back end between him, Logan Ryan, all the way to James Bradbury on the other side. And that's what veterans are supposed to do. They're supposed to walk right in, have that communication skills, but more importantly, the leadership skills in and out of each and every drill.
Keenum running the show for Cleveland here in this team period. Giants do a nice job there, and the pass broken up. That was Rodarius Williams, the rookie 6th-round pick out of Oklahoma State. 48 straight starts, a Cowboys record for the school, and his brother Greedy, starting cornerback for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, you saw both of them before practice talking who's going to have a better day, and Rodarius right now is having a better day than Greedy.
Cam Brown, number 47, in there for the Giants. Nico Lalos, number 57, coming off the edge there on Keenum. And that pass is batted away by Downs and then intercepted by Quincy Wilson.
It's a drill we see him work every day, the tip drill. Everybody be smart, swarm to the football, and great things happen.
All right, Daniel Jones back in there now, first-team Giants offense. Good news there is Jones had some time, and Evan Ingram with a nice hands catch with defender draped all over him. That's the rookie Greg Newsome.
Nice job by Andrew Thomas on that play. Andrew Thomas had a set to the outside, got a counter move by that defensive end with the spin inside. He was able to counter, get him flat down the line of scrimmage, and continue to give Daniel Jones time on the protection.
And then Malik Jackson, the former Philadelphia Eagle, gave Evan Ingram a little shove there, and Evan did not respond.
Very smartly, but the official responded and said something right to him.
A little slip screen to Sterling Shepard. Sterling had a very nice performance earlier in this practice in the one-on-one.
Boy, did he. I mean, it was him versus John Johnson. John Johnson was trying to talk trash before they even started. Sterling Shepard broke his ankles on all 3 of his attempts.
You know, I was talking to Sterling in the hotel this morning. I just happened to run into him, and he was a little frustrated by the way things went in practice for him yesterday. So, you know, he was coming out with a little added focus.
The best thing that you can do is take that aggression and that motivation to the next day, which he's doing.
David, for fans that are watching this, as they script these plays, down and distance is also part of these plays, right?
Without a doubt. They're making sure that they get third downs, third and longs in these as well. And the great thing that we're seeing here is the communication at the line of scrimmage. Obviously, they've made a defense adjustment. We saw Daniel Jones come up and alert and check the protection to make sure that they can get it clear.
And he dumped it down to Corey Clement, who I think has been a pretty impressive player. You know, he's certainly harmed the Giants over the years playing against him with the Philadelphia Eagles, 5th-year pro out of Wisconsin.
Yes, he has, and it's a great addition for this Giants football team in that running back room because, as you and I both talked about, with Saquon Barkley getting injured over the last 2 seasons, they've got to have valuable backups at the running back position.
And we should say running with the ones here right now is one of the new Giants, Ted Larson, at the left guard spot, number 69.
They're continuing to get him reps and get him acclimated into this offense, and the thing that you want to continue to have is competition at both guard positions with Shane Lemieux and Will Hernandez. Let the best man win.
Wide receiver screen to Sterling Shepard, who has been quite active.
Those little screens on second down are awesome because they're almost an extension of the run game. If you can get a little flare screen out there on 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4, it's easy yardage to pick up and make sure that either you're in third and manageable or you move the chains.
Ted Larson, number 69, we talked about him, 11-year pro out of North Carolina State, former 6th-round pick of the Patriots. Was on the Bucs practice squad last year, so he earned a ring. He spent time with Tampa, Arizona, Chicago, and Miami. 88 starts in 137 games.
And what he brings is versatility. He can play both guards and the center position. So, you know, on a game day roster, you know, where there's injuries at other positions, you might not have 8, 9 offensive linemen up. So when you have a valuable backup like that who can play multiple positions, you can take care of the other positions where there's injuries.
Let's set it for you. They got Jackson Barton at the left tackle spot. Kenny Wiggins is at the left guard. Jonathan Harrison, the veteran, is at center. Is that Chad Slade at the
right tackle position?
Right tackle.
And I couldn't see who they had in that right guard.
We'll get a number for you. Lennon able to complete that pass. C.J. Board, who obviously is a very good special teams player for the Giants, makes the catch. Let's see if we can get that right guard spotted here in the number.
72. Or no, 70.
70. Jake Burt, the
Yep, Jake
rookie
Burt.
free agent out of Baylor. Played last year at Baylor, started 8 games at right guard, spent 4 years at UCLA, where he appeared in 29 games for the Bruins.
Well, this is a great opportunity for Mike Lennon and his second-team offensive line to show that they're dialed up and tuned with the protections, because there's a lot of blitzes taking place in Joe Wood's defense right now.
Lennon's pass for Sills incomplete. I saw him retreating a little bit as the Browns are able to generate some pressure. Jonathan Harrison is a 7th-year pro, the center, former free agent with Indianapolis. Spent time with the Jets and the Indianapolis Colts, Buffalo's practice squad last year. He's been dealing with an injury in camp.
Yeah, he's been fighting through it and taking each and every rep, knowing that there's no guarantee to make this roster. And, I mean, that's part of being an offensive lineman. Realistically, the only day as an offensive lineman you feel 100% is the day before training camp starts, because you're going to have nicks, you're going to have bumps, but you know that you got to fight through them, especially when you're fighting to make this roster.
Obviously, these teams are going to play on Sunday. But, David, I would think that the coaches are probably going to get a better handle of their personnel and their starters going in these practices than you might get in the game.
No question, because you can work situational football. You can do blitz periods, 2-minute drill, third down. That's the exciting thing about having these joint practices, because you're going to get different opportunities and experiences that you may not have come up in a preseason game. So the fact that they could really ratchet up between Kevin Stefanski and Joe Judge, how they wanted to have a template for both of these practices to increase the intensity but make sure both sides get work to improve, it's exactly what you're looking for.
Dave, we're getting ready to see some more intensity here with first units going against each other.
Yes, we are. We got 7-on-7. We're especially working into the red zone, but more specifically O-line, D-line, one-on-one pass pro. These are the exact opportunities that these wide receivers need to work on. Clean routes, coming in and out of their breaks and making sure they're on the same timing as Daniel Jones.
All right, so Daniel Jones getting a chance to work against this Browns defense. Did he get his feet in?
See, we're looking for the official. There's no official standing in that corner.
That was Ryson John. We've talked about him, the kid from Vancouver. Brings a lot of different weapons to the table. Guy was a former wide receiver. All right, David, this is your favorite spot as Malik Jackson gets a little pressure.
Yeah, Ted Larson, that's one where he's got to shoot his hands and make sure that he stops that initial rush, because he saw him try to replace, but at that time he already gave up ground.
All right, back to Jones working against the Browns defense. Evan Ingram, nice catch in traffic. Good throw by Daniel Jones and wonderful ball placement there.
Great rep by Nick Gates. Made sure that he snapped, got his offhand in there after snapping the football back. Great work.
All right. Well, now Daniel Jones is out. Mike Glennon's in. So we'll see. We'll take a look at this, and then we'll go back to those one-on-ones. Heck of a play by Ingram there. Corey Clement, the tailback. Mike Glennon intercepted. That's Richard LeCount, the 5th-round rookie draft pick out of Georgia, with the interception.
That one's got to have more loft on it over the top to the back of the end zone. You've got to aim right at that field goal post in order to get it there.
All right, let's go back to the one-on-one.
Well, here we go. Here's the D-line. Leonard Williams with an easy little club rip there around the edge for a clean pressure or sack.
Yeah, this is a little bit like if you were at the Olympics and you were watching track and field, if you've ever been to the Olympics, there's a lot of events going on at the same time, or at gymnastics. That's what training camp practice is. Dexter Lawrence gets some pressure.
And it's spread across 2 fields in different directions. Great move by Dexter Lawrence.
Let's watch Danny
There's
Shelton.
Danny Shelton. Oh, the old veteran move. Thought he would, offensive center thought initially he was going to get the typical bull rush. Ole, tossed him to the side.
Nico Lalos. Pretty good job by the offensive lineman there against the Giants. All right, back to Daniel Jones. A little behind Caden Smith. Had a window there.
Yeah, had a window. Obviously, he knew that safety was closing over the top that you saw in the film, but has to get it there accurately, only where he can catch it.
That was Austin Johnson. And obviously, he's pretty pleased with his performance. Fedi Adenabo.
He's one of those guys that could be slippery on the edge. He's got to hone in on his craft, and on that one, he can't give up that leverage and show his numbers to the offensive tackle because they're going to stab and be able to hold on right there.
Back to Daniel Jones. Heck of a catch there, made by Darius Slayton.
There's a lot of contact before that, too, so great catch by him to be able to fight through it and come down with it.
All right, so your observations of what we've seen on this period of practice.
I obviously love seeing the O-line versus the D-line on both sides of the ball, continuing to hone in on your techniques and fundamentals, because let's face it, that's the only thing that's going to make you survive in the NFL.
So the Giants have their defense out on the field, their first-team defense, going against the Browns' first-team offense and quarterback Baker Mayfield.
This is going to be a great challenge for this Giants defense because when it does get smaller, this is where they're going to use Baker Mayfield to move them around with all the misdirection to try to create those openings.
Chubb with the handoff. So they run it on that first down play in the red zone. And each situation is completely scripted here for each team, isn't it?
Yeah, each situation is scripted, but obviously if there's a different look or a different opportunity, you know, the quarterbacks do have the flexibility to check at the line of scrimmage.
And the Giants have shuffled in some different personnel. You see David Moa's in there, B.J. Hill in there. So the coaches are trying to evaluate these players in these situations going against the Browns ones. You have some backup players going against Cleveland's ones, which I think is something that's very important.
No doubt about it. What are you going to do when you're challenged up against a very good offensive line like the Cleveland Browns when you don't get as many reps in practice? Now's your opportunity to highlight yourself and show what you can do with your techniques and fundamentals to win each rep, because let's face it, at the line of scrimmage, there are no ties. You either win or you lose.
Austin Hooper with that catch, two-time Pro Bowler. Originally entered the league with the Atlanta Falcons in his second year with the Cleveland Browns. Well, let's see what Mayfield has dialed up as we give you a peek from the Giants secondary over Trent Harris's shoulder at the linebacker spot. Play action pass. Here's where Mayfield can be dangerous. He got out of the pocket and that thing got knocked away.
And some pressure by Azeez Ojulari up against Jedrick Wills. This is great work for the young rookie to be going up against a veteran who played last year as a rookie going into his second year. Great opportunity, great rip and spin off of that outside.
See Jabril Peppers coming back in. Browns have Jarvis Landry at one of their receiver spots. He goes out to the right. Kareem Hunt is the tailback. And then Kareem Hunt with a nice run there. Looked like the Browns had the Giants defense creased a little bit.
They creased it. David Moa got edged right there at that nose tackle position. And once you edge that, when you're running that inside zone, it's easy to get that running back up to the second level once your tackle and tight end are free.
Giants shuffle in Raymond Johnson, rookie out of Georgia Southern, rookie free agent, number 91. Got Ryan Anderson, number 46 in there. B.J. Hill, Reggie Ragland, one of the middle linebackers. See Julian Love, number 20. Xavier McKinney's in there.
Blake Martinez.
Mayfield has a wonderful command, doesn't he?
He most certainly does, and I think that's one of the main reasons why they continue to bring in Case Keenum to help with his development, take him to the next level in this offense, considering the fact that Case Keenum learned everything, the ins and outs of this with Kevin Stefanski in Minnesota.
JoJo Natson runs that in. Natson, he's listed at 5'7", 153, but in person he doesn't even look that big.
No, I think that's weighing him soaking wet.
All right, Giant offense going against the Browns defense here. You got Daniel Jones in there and working on a little red zone against this Cleveland defense. Got Shane Lemieux in there at the left guard spot now. Booker's the tailback. Daniel Jones, Sterling Shepard.
On who? Johnny Johnson. You shouldn't have talked trash to him before practice. That's 4 against him that Sterling Shepard has. Great protection on the left side of the offensive line. Shane Lemieux, Andrew Thomas able to make sure that they locked him up and were able to drift him to the left to make sure Daniel Jones could step up and deliver that football.
Right, I mean, one of the key things that we're looking for here is, are they getting these plays off in timing? In other words, is Daniel Jones, holding on to the ball, and then something develops late where in a game you know that you have to throw it away at that point. He's got time again. There's Sterling Shepard, a short completion. Well, look at Shepard and Troy Hill.
I love it. Be smart about it. Enjoy the process. Don't do anything stupid, but this is definitely raising the competition level of everybody on the field.
Yeah, you mentioned John Johnson, who Shepard has had a lot of success against today.
Yep.
I mean, that's a guy who started 16 games for the Rams last year, started 48 of 54 for the Rams, and was one of their team captains.
Yeah, and you figure they brought him over to run this Joe Woods offense, considering it's the same scheme, the same terminology, to really bring that veteran presence on that back end.
Daniel Jones, Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram beats the middle linebacker, Anthony Walker, the former Indianapolis Colt.
Great job on the right side of the offensive line on that one. Matt Parrott had an ET end stunt. T coming around. Will Hernandez punched and passed it perfectly.
Yeah, and then Daniel Jones XYZ'd it right to Ingram for a touchdown. All right, so good stuff here. Very impressive performance by the Giants here today.
No doubt about it. They brought the intensity, but more importantly, they brought the physicality and the discipline they needed to have a successful practice.
And we hope you enjoyed this look at the Giants and Browns joint practice. Next week, we're going to bring you the same when the Giants are in Foxborough to take on the Patriots with practices on Wednesday and Thursday. So for David Diehl and our entire crew, I'm Bob Papa. Thanks for joining us for the Giants Training Camp Report presented by Investors Bank.